What's up, guys? It's your boy Scion, and I'm back, just showing you guys some more MMO stuff. It's the MMO show. And what I want to show you guys today, basically, is closers. Now, closers is actually pretty crazy. And, I've showed it before, but people take it for advantage, or take it for granted, rather, I'm sorry. And this game is actually really good, especially for you fans out there who was a dungeon fighter fan and everything. Like, they just came out with the patch here where they put up Yi-sun, I believe that's what her name is. She's gonna be in her new, officer type level. I guess you can level up at level 40, and you get this. They did it, the other two characters before, and now they're up to her. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I am not that high yet. I think I'm level 32 or 33. I get up 7 more levels. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying her, because like I told you guys before, I'm an Anri Sonohara fan, I'm a Saya fan, and for you guys who are anime fans, Dura, they're back again, 2nd season, so check that out. So next up, we got H1Z1. Now, man, I gotta pause, because I really dislike when games that are unfinished get greenlit, and they wonder why things like the whole Gamergate happens. You can't put games like this out like that. This game is not ready. It has so many bugs. It's really choppy. And it's a good game in concept and fun and everything, but you just, I don't understand how this stuff gets through. Like, who is on the greenlit committee that just lets games stuff like this? Like, how? You can see it's incomplete. And then they pulled this airdrop stuff, and they had to apologize and say that, they'll give refunds and everything else like that, because this is pay to win right here. How are you going to pay to be able to drop it? And what if you have a group of people and they hog everything and they hide and just take everything like that? That's pay to win. If you have people working together, what? Anyway, Final Fantasy just came with their new patch that they're coming out with. It's not out yet, but it is going to come out. And people question me when I said that this is the #1 game right now as far as MMOs. It is. They do so much content in this game in a short period of time that's quality. It is not crap. This game does have, things wrong with it and everything else, but you can't beat the story. The story is crazy. Like, you're seeing some of the story right now, spoiler a little bit, but whatever. This game is one of those games where, when you play it and you experience all this stuff, you're like, wow, this is pretty cool. I like all this type of stuff that's going on in this game. And I don't understand how people can deny it. It's one of those games. It's an excellent game. They have everything just about. The only thing that they lack is PvP, and they slightly working on that, but you can tell they don't really care about that. Nobody really should care about that, but is what it is. So definitely try this game out when you get a chance. So I know you have to pay a little bit of cash down and play it, and there's pay to play, but whatever. Rift is coming out with some very interesting new mounts. They're gonna be these kind of bike speeders. They look kind of cool. I like hover bikes and stuff like that. I can feel using it and having a little fun with it. I'm on the outside with Rift. I know I used to play it a whole lot. I don't really do that anymore. I'm gonna try to get back into it and get my Rift wings back under me again. We'll see. But I definitely am going to try this out and see how it is, and just give you guys a little gist of it. Probably sometime next week. Give you guys a look, see how you like it. But it's called the Arclight, as you can see right there, and I'm definitely going to try to give you something good to look at that. Now, on that tone, or a more lighter topic, Guild Wars 2 has come out with this new content, and like I told you before, Final Fantasy, I'm a guy who likes story at MMO, and Guild Wars 2 does a good job with story. There's a lot of it in this new patch, and there's actually going to be more in about a week. So definitely get in there and try to get this patch or this content done, so you can get all your free items and everything, and be in time for the new patch. It's going to be like a point of no return or something like that. So it definitely is good, and fighting the different dragons and everything like this. It's a pretty awesome fight with that dragon, though, that I took on in this last, little, I know it's a little bit of spoiler, but it was a very good single fight. I definitely should try that out and, check it out. Get into Guild Wars 2. It's a good game. It's worth it. Now, I found this one, and I was a little bit shocked, because I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, Smash Brothers on the PC, but that's basically what it is. And I know normally I'm I don't really, pay attention to games like this, but this game looks interesting. I didn't get into it just yet. I didn't get a key. I went to try to get a key, but I failed. At one point where I was trying to get the key, they ran out of keys while I was signing up to get the key. And then the next time, I just didn't get invited. So, it happens sometimes. Like, you can't get into everything. But this game actually looks pretty fun, pretty cool. And, as you see there, got nice controller support and keyboard support, and I think I'm gonna get into this one. I know it's not MMO and everything, but hey, sometimes you don't have to actually all just show all MMO. Like stuff like this, you have to make an exception because it looks really cool. Like I think I can actually get into this one, so we'll see. We'll keep that in mind. Now, Marvel Heroes has came out, pretty much with their new content. And they did something that I should have been paying attention to, and I don't know why I didn't. I'm gonna end it. They upgraded the Hulk. Like, what? Upgrading the Hulk? The Hulk was already badass to begin with, and then they basically gave him a new 52 review, and yeah, what the really? Come on, man. Like, the Hulk is gonna be a beast. I'm definitely covering that next week. You're probably gonna see that tomorrow. But other than that, next thing I'm going to show you is the Skyforge developer diary video that they had. That's going to be the trailer of the week. And I'm appreciating that. Like, they did a good job with that trailer, and I felt that I should show it on my channel. Because, like, companies rarely explain and do a good job explaining. Sometimes companies be like, yeah, we did it because we said so. And we know what we're talking about. We didn't test anything. We just feel it was going to just work. They didn't do that with Skyforge. So I'm giving them props. Be legendary, and I'll see you next week. Legendary.
The combat system is 90% of most games, the very core gameplay. If the combat is boring, no matter what features your game boasts, people typically won't play it for long. At a very early stage in Skyforge's development, we determined that we wanted to create a visually striking, dynamic, and intuitive combat system. Initially, we planned to use the classical control system, as in games like Warcraft, and then add in some elements of action games to that. It wasn't an easy task. We collected prototypes, played them, got new ideas, redid everything, creating new prototypes. The whole picture was still not coming together. We couldn't get the results we wanted. We looked at our competitors, at other genres, and then turned our sights towards consoles, Devil May Cry, Darksiders, and other similar games. Combo sequences, hits, evasions, and counterattacks, free movement, and overall fast-paced gameplay. These elements alone do not make combat automatically spectacular and fascinating. The most important thing is to make these elements fit together to form a complete picture, a single continuous movement. Only then does combat become like a theatrical performance, where the player is the director and actor at the same time. On our team, we have the opportunity to experiment and bring new ideas into play. For this, we work late hours, put our best efforts forward, and work on the weekends. Everyone on the team is empowered to implement new features, new ideas, either on their own or in groups. We call these our pet projects, and Skyforge's mouse look system was one of them. Generally speaking, mouse look is the ability to control the camera by moving the mouse. It's a familiar and straightforward concept for many games, such as third-person shooters, but in this case, mouse look is what we call the control system as a whole. By doing this, we were able to move combo attacks and most commonly used skills to the mouse buttons, thus freeing the keyboard somewhat. As a result, characters moved much more naturally, giving us the movement, the speed, and the flow we were looking for. When we considered non-target-based combat, it seemed very attractive. Nevertheless, it did have one serious drawback. It keeps players under constant tension, which is fine in a single-player game, where players typically only game for much more limited periods of time, but not in an MMO where you play every day. So we decided to use the best of both systems. You use mouse look, rotate the camera, dodge, and move fluidly around the battlefield. But we also kept the classic things like being able to select targets using tab. And we added another feature, Focus Target, which allows you to lock on a target for your spells. But not all classes in Skyforge are suited for combos. When we tried to create combos for ranged classes, it didn't go so well. For these classes, we employed other action features like charged spells. So, for example, with the Archer, you were able to use 8 different spells with just 2 mouse buttons. To make combat interesting, not only do you need to create good classes, but you also have to make sure enemies are more than just sacks of loot. In the end, we settled on a system where we have different types and classes of mobs. Our mobs usually come in packs, and each pack has different classes of mobs. Depending on the pack composition, we might have very different fight outcomes. For example, we have mobs with tons of HP that will crowd the player, interfering with their ability to fight. There are also monsters that are fragile, but able to cast insanely powerful spells. There is also another type of mob. These will require players to react to the creature's actions. It wouldn't matter what tactics you are going to use. Many of the powerful enemy attacks in Skyforge can be evaded. For this purpose, there are special abilities available to each class. The most common of them is a dash, which can be used by every class. However, enemies in Skyforge also have auto attacks. These deal guaranteed damage and cannot be evaded by dash. You're able to negate them by using certain class abilities and mechanics, but you will not be able to escape the attack. In classic MMO, there are a lot of interfaces that the player must interact with. We wanted to make the interface simple and minimalistic, so that the player could, above all, see the world around them and feel the combat. And we feel as though we managed to do that, because we want the combat to be the focal point of our game, not the interface. All of our iterations we performed to find our way for dynamic combat were tested in our UX lab. There we measured the player's pulse, the electrical resistance of their skin, and where they were looking on the monitor using an eye tracker. It's a very useful setup. It allowed us to receive almost instant answers to questions like whether the average player can use these certain combos, whether a particular mob's ability is noticeable and clear, if the ability bar is distracting, and if the player looks at it too often, or if they're worried about their class resource management. We wanted the player to focus mostly on the world, and so we watched the eye tracker very carefully. When people see our combat, they often ask whether the game will have gamepad support. I'll let you in on a secret. Yes, it will. Internally, we even have a working pet project build that you can play when you're using a gamepad, and we're thinking of completing implementation someday. With Skyforge, we were trying to create a game that we ourselves could enjoy, because we don't know any other way to make a good game. We put in a massive amount of effort to develop our combat system and continue to do so. We hope you'll enjoy it. Make sure to visit our site, where you can write on our forums, which we regularly read. See you in beta.
Thanks for stopping by and watching another video of me, Scion Storm. If you'd like to see more videos, please click the first Scion Storm icon. If you would like to subscribe to me, please click the second one. Once again, be legendary, and you have a good day. Peace.